The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
All right, so as we mentioned yesterday, we did learn about the passing of Lewis's grandmother. Very, very sad day for Lewis and for me and for the show. As we talked about yesterday, I've known Lewis's grandmother, I guess for about 25 years. So Lewis is not here today. You probably noticed I handled the show by myself today, and there will be no show Thursday, Friday this week. Lewis and I are both going to be in Western Massachusetts for the funeral service, and that's going to be the situation for the rest of the week. And this sort of gives me an opportunity, since I don't have anything in particular planned for the bonus show. I do want to give you a sense of some issues that have been happening behind the scenes here, which I don't yet know how they're going to manifest. Period. I guess I was going to qualify that. I don't know how they're going to manifest in the next few weeks. Since we moved into this studio in Boston, the space is fantastic, but we've unfortunately had some issues with construction noise and general noise in the building. And we've sometimes alluded to this when there's an interruption during the bonus show because of a hammer or a saw or something like that. And the sort of background of this is that the building we were in is a building, it's an older building that has been completely renovated on the inside. Very common in parts of Boston in this neighborhood. And when we moved in, we were promised one space, which ultimately was not ready because they were not able to renovate it in time. So they put us into this other space, and we were sort of given assurances that the construction around this part of the building was done. And very soon after moving in, we realized that wasn't true. And there have been sort of, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, there were incongruent expectations between what based on what we were told and what was actually the reality in the building. And there have been some back and forths about individual days where we've had to wait hours to record the show. And sometimes when the show is late being uploaded, it's as a result of that. This sort of all came to a head late last week, early this week, when it was announced in the building that the floor directly above us is going to be fully under construction for several months. Now, if you're me, remember, we were never told about any disruptions that there would be, and there have been many disruptions. Now we're being told there are going to be several months of disruptions. So I'm very worried, and I've been working both with our lawyer and with the ownership and management of the building just to try to figure out, what do we do? We need to be able to do a show. I can't be coming into work, and from an audience perspective, the show will suffer. It is very stressful to come in. We've got a guest ready. We have new staff here. And all of a sudden, you start to hear sawing or hammering, and the entire day has to be shifted around. The sort of legal questions around it, we've talked to our lawyer about it. The reality is that, yes, we certainly would have a sort of case, and I'm not using the case in terms of like a criminal case, but we have a sort of good footing to say that this is, when there is construction going on, this is not what we would call an office environment. But the problem is, according to our lawyer, the remedy is not paying rent. And it's no big victory for us to say, okay, the days that they're construction, we get a credit for that day's rent because we just need to do the show, right? Our rent is only, it's great to get rent back, right? But that doesn't really do much for the audience. So do I have a solution to this problem yet? No. I don't know if next week when we start up again on Monday, we're going to be able to do the show at the normal time. I really don't know what to expect. We've been told that we would be let out of our lease if we find another place, but I've been doing some calling around, and the reality is most commercial spaces are not available until July 1st, right? We're almost in mid-May. This isn't like finding a one-bedroom apartment. This is quite a process in getting a lease and et cetera, et cetera. So we're already at July 1st for most of the available spaces, if not July 15th. And of course, some spaces don't have central air. Can't really have a window unit, right? The microphones pick up the noise from a window AC. So it's a complex situation. And July 15th or even July 1st, that's 6 to 8 weeks into this construction project. So things are stressful. The timing of this could not be worse as the election is heating up and so many things are heating up. So we'll keep you posted. Hopefully there will not be issues that translate to the show being affected in terms of getting it to you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say on this. Some people have said, well, what about asking for a different space in the building? There really is not availability. I mean, other than the space that will be under construction for new tenants, which is already spoken for, there's no vacancy in the building, and that's not really an option. And of course, the idea of moving the entire studio now, even if we found another space, even if it was the right decision, which maybe it would be, it's pretty overwhelming, right? I mean, we just moved here 5-6 months ago, so we're working with the landlords, working with Lewis, and when he returns and when I'm back, we'll continue exploring this. But that's what's going on. I wish the situation were different so we could just focus on doing the best show possible. But this is a reality, and we're going to have to deal with that. So I don't want to say too much else today. No show tomorrow, no show on Friday because of the passing of Lewis's grandmother. We will be back full steam ahead on Monday. Can't thank you enough for your support, and welcome to all of our new members who have gotten into the membership program with the free flash drive deal that we're doing. And also big thank you to some of the existing members who have purchased, in some cases, 4, 6, or even 8 flash drives. I guess some people want to give them away or hand them out at their businesses or whatever the case may be. Thank you. And you can get yours at davidpakman.com/flash drive. Always welcome your feedback. Have been getting a lot of really great thoughts on the show, everything from lighting to content to ideas from our members. Really appreciate your support, and I will, of course, keep you posted about what happens with this. I'll call it an unfortunate situation that we're dealing with here in the studio.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.